Welcome to another digestible. As you know, I'm Nadia Kim, and I am a psychic intuitive. I am a light worker, a starseed, someone who has spent many years working to see the truth of who I was. I had lost sense of that when I got married, actually even before I'd gotten married. And it took a long time for me to return to who I was. So today I want to talk to you about what it means to be your true self and how to get there. Oftentimes, what many of us don't realize is that we are shaped and sculpted and molded by the world around us. Our thoughts and beliefs and values are basically ingrained in us by our family, our friends, school teachers, people that are in our environment. The subconscious, which is an aspect of your mind, it is the aspect that, as Freud considered, was what they called below the iceberg, the parts that were under the water. So if you think of an iceberg, you can only see the tip, right? That's the conscious mind. But then it's a very small part. And underneath the water, there's like this whole big piece of ice you cannot see. That is the subconscious and the unconscious, or the superconscious. What happens is that as you're a child and you're beginning to grow and learn, your subconscious is always running. And because it's always running, what happens is that you are constantly interpreting information. That information is being interpreted and processed, and it's informing you of how you engage with your environment and how your environment sees you as you engage with it. The problem with this is it also is being hit against what your desires were. So typically, every person on the planet, if you were to look at them, even if they were elderly or in advanced age, or if they were just a grown adult or a teenager, everyone is really just a child wanting to feel safe and loved. Okay, the inner child aspect never goes away. Many of us, we grow up, we think we're not children anymore. You're told when you grow up you won't be a child anymore. So see, here is another conditioning that is happening to you. So a belief is then created within your mind. That belief that I'm not a child once I become an adult, I'm no longer a child. There's even a belief that we create in ourselves based on what's happened in our environment. Let's just say as a child, you were limited and restricted to the things that you could do, and that went against the desires that you had. So you might have created this idea in your mind. That means that once I become an adult, I'm no longer a child. I can do what I want. I can do, and I can't wait for that, right? So this is also, again, another belief system that has come into play. It becomes ingrained in you. It becomes something that is sitting in your subconscious, and it feeds up into your conscious mind, unbeknownst to you as you're operating in your daily life. One of my professions is that I'm a board certified hypnotherapist. And what we do with hypnosis, which is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. A guided meditation is unto itself a form of hypnosis. The only thing that's missing is a post-hypnotic suggestion. What those are doing is they're going into the subconscious. So we distract the conscious mind by relaxing you, by giving you vivid imagery, something to focus on, something to kind of play out in your mind. And while you're doing that, your conscious mind is distracted. We are then now creating post-hypnotic suggestions to help facilitate removal of whatever belief was there that was hindering you from achieving your goals or that was holding you back. And we're replacing it with something that is positive, that will be more helpful and beneficial to you. So hypnosis can be used across a wide variety of areas. And I am actually going to be creating a video series that will be on my channel for each different type of scenario that you might find helpful. And it would be beneficial to listen in the evenings when you can have a quiet time and a quiet space every night for up to 30 days. What will happen is that will go in and it will begin, those hypnotic suggestions will go in and begin to change what was conditioned within you. A lot of people find that it's difficult to overcome things like automatic negative thoughts. We call them ants. This is where hypnosis comes into play. So yeah, you have gone through, you have been conditioned to believe these things, and now you're a grown adult and you can't, like, you want to do things, but there are these beliefs there. And without having awareness of those beliefs and then beginning the act of actually trying to transform those beliefs into something better and being willing to shed them, which often part of why it's so difficult to do is the fear of the unknown. It's that idea that, well, I've had this for so long, who will I be without it? And so this is where we're talking about what it means to be your authentic self. It's about shedding beliefs that maybe you had, but they don't really resonate with the truth of who you are. So how do you know? Well, it's by simple self-discovery. And I say simple, and I know it's not simple as in it's something that's easily done and then bam, boom, everything is now changed in your life. Transformation doesn't happen that fast. The body, the mind, the trapped emotions, all the experiences that we've had need a chance to be extracted. And a lot of times it's happening at different levels, different layers of your self-discovery. But you can begin that process today by being willing to dig in to what in your life isn't working for you. Where do you feel like situations and interactions with other people have happened that don't make you feel good? Those are indicators of something going against your truth. If you feel a certain way and other people are expressing different ideas and thoughts about it, and you want to go a different direction, but you find that you have trouble going in that different direction, those are examples of where you're coming in contact with your true self, but maybe you're just not in a place to sit down with that and really dig in deeper to say, well, why do I feel like this? If you're not following your heart, okay, and there's these thoughts and these beliefs in there about why you can't follow your heart, you're not living in your true self. You're not being authentic with yourself. Being authentic is about being honest. It is about trusting your thoughts and opinions about things. And also not just that, but it's about your heart space, because you might not have good thoughts and opinions about things. And so we need to address that as well. If you're not in a space of love and showing yourself love and compassion, and those, you have these thoughts and opinions and they're contrary to love and they're contrary to compassion for yourself, they're not the truth of who you are. They're not authentic. When you reach your authentic self, you recognize your need for self-love. And that love is something that you have to show yourself. It's not something that you can receive from anybody else. So this is just the tip of the iceberg on how to dig into beginning that process. So step one, sit down and take a look at your past experiences and write a list of what you feel like you want, but what you're experiencing instead. And then what you want to do, step two, is to ask yourself, what does my heart want me to do? Okay, when you look at those situations versus what you want, what you wanted, the desires you had versus what happened, right? That step two is going to be looking at those and analyzing them and say, what did I really want? What did my heart really want to experience? Before you engage in looking for the answers to that question, which is in step two, I want you to take that time to close your eyes and focus on your breath. And what I want you to do is I want you to take in 3 deep cleansing breaths in through your nose, hold it for a moment, and out through your mouth. You do this 3 times. And then with your eyes closed, you say, what does my heart want me to do? What does my heart want in those situations? And I want you to write it down and just go through each one and write them down. Don't analyze it. Don't judge what you hear. Just write them down. And then step 3 is the work. It's looking at what your heart said versus what happened, okay, versus what you wanted. And then I want you in that process of looking at that to say, what was the basis behind why I ended up going in a direction that wasn't what I wanted or wasn't what my heart wanted? Ask yourself what fears, thoughts, and beliefs exist Now, this is really difficult. This is step 5, and this is about being honest with yourself. Part of being authentic is learning how to be honest with yourself. Being willing to face your fears. Being willing to face your thoughts and beliefs. And then step 6, the last step, is to ask yourself, are those fears, thoughts, and beliefs hindering you or helping you from having a life filled with peace, joy, and happiness? Okay, that's all the time we have for today, guys. But until next time,